Welcome to Corey's Conscious Living.
Hi friends, it's Corey here. I just wanted to remind you that if you are one of my biggest fans of Heidi, Cherry and Vaya stories, don't forget to talk to your parents or your guardians to see if they'll let you join the cat club. Go to the link down below that says Patron and you'll find all the information that you need to know. By joining the cat club, you automatically get 3 exclusive Heidi, Cherry and Vaya stories every month that no one else gets. Only cat club members get them. So they're not here on YouTube or Insight Timer or my podcast channel. If you can join, I'll see you there every month on the 7th of the month for your 3 exclusive stories. Namaste, my little friends. Enjoy your meditation story. Are you ready to meditate with Corey? Are you ready to be still and quiet? To try and relax your body as you lay down and listen to this story. Make sure that you're snuggly and cuddly in your bed. Heidi, Cherry and Vaya were very excited. They had gone camping with some of their bestest friends. Aria and her sister Maisie was there, and Aria was going to have a birthday. She was going to be 7 years old. I mean, how cool is that? Aria's dog was there, Jasmin. Jasmin was quite old and she was a little bit slow, but she was still so much fun. And then also, Aria's friends, Winnie and Waiverleigh, was there. They were having such a good time. They were camping in this place that was next to the lake, and it had the wonderfulest, most funnest, most beautifulest forest right there. They were playing hide and seek in the forest. Cherry was supposed to be finding everyone. She was having a terrible time with it. OMG, I am so tired of this game. I am normally so good at everything. She was talking to herself as she was walking through the forest trying to find all of her friends. At this point, she hadn't found anyone. They were all such good hiders. She wasn't impressed. I don't like it. I've decided that I might not be good at everything, which is a shocker. It's a real shocker and a shame to know that about yourself. But, sometimes I think it might be quite humbling. I feel a little bit humbled that I'm not the bestest hide and seek person in the world, because I thought I was. I thought I was so good at hide and seek. There you are. Oh, no, you're not. She just basically saw a bush behind a tree and thought that that was one of her friends. She carried on talking to herself. I think that we should do something else. If anybody's listening, can we play something else? Because I'm so over this game. I'm so tired of it. Ha ha! There you are. She saw a bird in a tree and thought it was Vaya. It wasn't Vaya, it was just a bird. Oh gosh, this game. It's very frustrating. How are you supposed to find people when all you can see is bushes and trees? Bushes and trees, bushes and trees. That's all I've seen for the longest time. Unless my friends look like trees and look like bushes, then I can't find anyone. I quit, she started shouting as loud as she can. I submit. I don't want to play this game anymore. I say we play something else. I quit. It's over. You win. Come back, come back. Everybody started to come out of their hiding places. They all told Cherry that she did her best, but really she wasn't that good at hide and seek. It was time to do something else. Aria said, how about we play on our bikes? Heidi said, oh, it's been a long time since us cats have been on a bike. Cherry said, don't you worry about that. I know I can ride a bike. Vaya said, I think I can ride a bike. It's been a while. Heidi said, it's been a long time for me. We'll have to see how we do. Aria and Maisie and her friends Winnie and Waiverleigh liked to draw chalk patterns on the path when they played on their bike. They made curls and swirls and figure eights and all different shapes with chalk on the path, and then they would follow the chalk patterns with their bikes. So it was kind of like an obstacle course while you were bike riding. It was very fun. Well, that's what the girls thought. Heidi kept falling off her bike. "I think I might pass on this one," said Heidi. "I don't think I'm very good at this, and I didn't bring my helmet, which is not a good idea." Cherry said, "Whee!" as she passed on by with her back paws up in the air. "I can do it with no hands! I can do it with no hands!" She lifted her front paws up and the whole bike started to whittle and shake, and it looked like she was going to go flying off the bike, but she put her paws back down on the bike and her back paws back down on the pedals, and she managed to pull the bike back into control. "Phew," said Cherry. "That was a bit scary. I don't think I should show off like that so much." Vaya did really good on her bike. She did it nice and slow. She had her helmet, she had her elbow pads, she had her knee pads. She told Heidi that she could borrow everything if she wanted to try again, but Heidi declined. She sat down, pulled out a book out of her backpack and started to read and just listen to everyone else having fun. That was enjoyable to her. Reading a nice, pleasant book, listening to everyone else, almost killing themselves on their bike. They played on the bikes for quite some time, and then they got hungry. Well, Cherry got hungry before anybody else. "When do we eat?" The girls said, "You have to make a fire to be able to eat when you're camping, and that takes some time." "Well," said Cherry, "let's get a move on, because I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving. My stomach is going... It's been talking to me since 12 o'clock, and it's 3 o'clock, and we need to eat. So let's start this fire and get things moving and get some s'mores going, because I've heard that when you're camping, you eat s'mores. And, what's a s'more?" Aria explained what s'mores were. They were one of her particular favourites, so she knew exactly how to make them. She knew exactly what was in them. She knew exactly how to make the perfect one. When the fire's done, she told everyone that she would make them s'mores. Everyone sat round the fire on rocks or benches or camping chairs, whatever they had. Some people just sat on the floor on their blankets. There was quite a crowd of people there, what with all the parents and the pets and everything else. Jasmin got comfortable and laid down on a blanket. She was pooped. She'd been running and playing near the lake all day, and she was ready to just go to sleep. The cats were all sat together. Aria and her sister Maisie were huddled up together, and her friends Winnie and Waiverleigh were sat on another chair next to them. They were all watching the flames in the fire. It was very relaxing, very mesmerising. Cherry thought that the fire was hypnotic. "It's so hypnotic." Aria asked what she meant by that. "Don't you know what hypnotic means? It means when you get completely mesmerised by something, you kind of start to go, ooh, ooh, and you drift off into another world, a world where magical things happen. Kind of like when you meditate with Corey. You know, when you close your eyes and you get all sleepy and dozy and you feel like you're floating and your body feels so relaxed and your words and everything in the background that Corey's saying just kind of blur into one, because that's because you've got hypnotised. You got mesmerised. Your mind is relaxing and drifting off to another place in time. I can hypnotise you if you want. Listen, close your eyes. Everyone started to laugh. Cherry said, "No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Stop watching. Actually, no. Stare at the flames. Watch the flames in the fire. Oh, you're feeling so peaceful inside. You're feeling so relaxed. You're feeling that relaxed that when all the s'mores are finished and cooked and ready, you won't want them. You'll want to give them to your bestest friend in the world, Cherry, me. Every single one of you will just say, Cherry, I love you. Here's me s'mores. And you'll feel so good about giving away your s'mores. Aria peeked one of her eyes open, snapped herself out of the hypnotic state and said, You trickster! Everyone snapped themselves out of the hypnotic state. Cherry, said Heidi, I can't believe you were trying to talk us all into giving us a s'mores away. Cherry started laughing. It almost worked. You were almost all under my secret hypnotic powers. No, it's okay, said Cherry. I don't want everyone's s'mores. I'd be sick. If I had that many marshmallows and that many graham crackers and that much chocolate, then I would definitely be sick. Thank goodness you all snapped out of it. But you know, I must admit, if I wanted to, you wouldn't have been able to snap out of it because I'm so good. I'm so good at hypnotising because I learnt from Corey and she's the best. She can make anyone get hypnotised and relaxed. Just listen to her voice for like 2 seconds and you go like that, you're out. So yeah, I know I'm as good as her and I could probably have made you all, each and every one of you, even Jasmin, the dog. And Jasmin didn't even want a s'mores, but she would have given me a s'mores. Yeah, wouldn't you, Jasmin? Jasmin just lifted one eyebrow and twitched one ear and then closed her eyes again and completely ignored Cherry. Anyway, while we're eating a s'mores, what else do we do when we're camping? Do we tell each other scary stories? Aria said, Well, I don't really want to be scared, but that might be funny. Maisie said, I don't think I like that idea. Heidi said, How about we tell happy stories? Happy stories might be better than scary stories, especially since we're in the middle of the forest and it's kind of dark and that might not be a good idea, Cherry. Cherry said, All right, yeah, I get it. Very smart, guys, very smart. I don't think I want a scary story anyway, because if I had a scary story, then I might be up all night in my tent and I might not be able to sleep. And every time a critter in the forest moves or twitches or cracks a tree trunk or a branch or something like that, I'd be like, ah! And sitting up in bed going, ah! And then going, oh, this is so scary. I want to go home. Yeah, I can see it happening now. Let's not do it. Let's tell happy stories. Vaya said, Me has a happy story. Once upon a time, there was a princess. Cherry goes, Oh, no, not another princess story. Vaya said, Okay. Once upon a time, there was a fairy. Oh, I like fairies, said Cherry. I like princesses, but you know, you can only hear so many princess stories, Vaya. Tell us a nice fairy story. Do you like fairies, Aria? Since it's going to be your birthday, we should really tell a story about what you want to listen to. Aria said that she liked fairies, so everyone got quiet. They were all munching happily on the s'mores, which Aria had made perfectly, by the way. They were so yummy and delicious and just right. They all stared at Vaya as she started to tell a story. Once upon a time, far, far away, there was a fairy that lived underneath a mushroom. She was so small and so cute and so, so tiny that she lived underneath a mushroom in the middle of the forest, and no one ever knew she was there. One day, a group of lovely girls, Aria, Maisie, Winnie, and Waiverleigh, all were walking through the woods, singing a song. They all had such beautiful voices. Their voices were so sweet, pretty, and nice. And the song was really, really happy and nice. That the fairy came from underneath her mushroom and came out into the forest to listen. She was trying to get closer. She decided she needed to fly closer and closer to where the voices were coming from. She needed to see who was singing. The sound was so sweet, so pretty. She just wanted to see who was singing. She flew closer and closer and closer until she got that close that she just sat on a tree trunk right next to where the girls had all sat down on the floor singing their song. She closed her eyes and listened. They sounded like angels. The girls were listening to Vaya telling her story, and because she was talking about them, even if they were wonderful singers or not, it was so nice to listen to a story about yourself. Everyone was listening very intently. Vaya was a very good storyteller. Then, somehow, the tiny little fairy that was holding on to the trunk of a tree with her eyes closed lost her grip and fell down to the ground right in the middle of the 4 girls singing. Aria noticed her. "Oh," she said, "a fairy." All of the other girls stopped singing. Everyone stared at the tiny little pretty fairy in the middle of their circle. The fairy just froze. The only thing that she moved was her eyes, looking at the girls to see what they were going to do next. The girls all smiled and said hello. This was very reassuring to the tiny little fairy. She realized that the girls were very sweet and kind and loving, and she was safe. She introduced herself. She said that her name was Lilypad. All the girls liked her name. She asked them if she could sing with them. The girls said yes. They sat down in the circle and all sang the prettiest, sweetest, most relaxing, angelic songs. The whole forest listened to them singing. All the animals got sleepy and relaxed. Their voices were so soothing and calming. The trees stopped swaying in the wind and got very still listening to them singing. All the insects, the bugs, the spiders, the creepy crawlies, everything got sweet smiles on their faces and just sat still and listened. And then eventually, everything got so relaxed. They closed their eyes and listened. The girls kept singing. The sounds kept vibrating through the ground and the trees and all around them, until eventually everything was fast asleep. "The end," said Vaya. When she looked around the fireplace, the cats had got comfortable with their blanket and fallen asleep. Aria and Maisie, Winnie and Waiverleigh were all sleeping. Jasmin the dog was asleep. All the parents were asleep. Vaya snuggled down into Heidi and Cherry, who were already asleep. Closed her eyes and fell asleep too. The end.